Yeah, I'm 53.
Yeah, you definitely don't look it. But do you remember?
at all.
No, not at all. I know, seriously. But do you remember that TV show where where the kid said, what was it? It was like applesauce, pork chops, and applesauce. And he said it
Mm-hmm.
just weird like that. It was like this big thing. It was the Brady Bunch. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
remember. Yep.
Yeah. Anytime I hear somebody say pork chops and applesauce, that's all I think of.
Those are the good old days.
So I got a question again without bringing up names. Like how how do you expose people? How do you adjust people when they literally have a cult like following and a mob mentality to where a lot of their supporters are like they just don't care. They don't care. They're not going to believe it. How do you break through that barrier of exposing a group of people for what's really going on this app? Because we all know what they're doing. We all know the harm that they're causing. We all know they're afraid of being exposed, and that's why they're scrambling lately. But how do we actually make an impact or get through and do anything? Because TikTok's not going to do it.
Hit them in the pocket.
Okay.
Start suing people for defamation, and if they're harassing and cyber stalking you, get restraint orders. And when that stuff start happening to people, and people actually have jobs out there that they can't have that type of stuff on their back, they're like, you know what? Wait a minute, this may affect my real life. I can't be acting all crazy. I gotta start acting like old again.
They try to do that though with false stories, and this is what they don't realize is that when you start making claims like that, like you have to have everything to back you up.
Yeah, you have to have the burden
Yeah.
of proof is on you.
Yeah, the two cases that I had were very, like I said, the first one I was the plaintiff. I feel like I got really bad representation because the attorney was trying to push forward the case without using any evidence because of the way the prior cases had gone, or the prior hearings have gone, which were like pretrial hearings. So I absolutely should have used the evidence. Always make sure you can use your evidence if you have it. The second one I had, where I was the defendant, she was allowed to present as much evidence, quote unquote evidence, as she wanted, but there was no evidence. Like, there's a big difference between your First Amendment right and actually stalking and harassing anybody. So the people that are just frivolously filing charges or something against somebody, hoping that they won't show up or whatnot, because you want to try and silence somebody, a lot of times that's not going to work. If somebody's actually harassing you, especially off of the app as well, you got to make sure that you have your solid evidence and that you bring that forward to the not just the courts for the civil case, but to the police as well.
I do. I have police reports.
That
Yeah,
sounds
see,
like the case Blaze had with that other lady with that big old yellow T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
And
So far,
she came up there with all her evidence, and the judge said, "You look like the stalker, ma'am. You look like the harasser. All this evidence you giving me, it ain't."
yeah, that actually is so funny because when Lady Guinevere presented all her evidence, she had to turn around and give me a copy of it because defending myself, I'm entitled to review it all before the hearing, right? So she had to mail me all a copy of it. Weirdly, true story, I had avoided getting COVID that whole time, and weirdly, she somehow included pride buttons in the package. Like, I don't know what the hell she was trying to do, but that package was sent to me overnight, and within like a week after receiving that package, I had gotten COVID for the first time.
Wow.
So I know that people have said that it can live on metal and plastic for up to like 48 to 72 hours. Well, that package was delivered to me in less time. And she also advertised on TikTok that she had just had COVID like shortly before that. And I was like, oh, great. Thank you. Like, I
That's some
still wonder to this
BS.
day if she did it. I still wonder to this day if she did it on purpose, because there is absolutely zero reason for her to include those pride stickers and buttons in the package, other than for her to be manipulative like she was in court, because she probably knew I would bring it up. And as soon as I brought it up, she was trying to tout herself as like such a great advocate for the community. Oh, Your Honor, I just happened to be sending out pride packages to a bunch of people, and I just used one of those packages and didn't realize it was in there. I'm like, there's no way you didn't realize that bulky set of pins, metal pins, was not in that package when you grabbed it. There's no way. Like, that was all just her manipulation.
That's a prime example of throwing stones and hiding your hand.
Yeah, and that's what she did. And now I've got so much evidence. She tried to make it seem. So there's another thing. The live that they had yesterday, I had called out. Do you guys remember the page called The Watchers of the Net? There was 2 versions of it. The first face, the anonymous face, and they were going after a guy named, God, what's his name? Moses. Do you guys remember that? The account that exposed Moses. It was called The Watchers of the Net.
I remember that name. I remember that. I think he made a video about Lisa, didn't he? And her visit. The feds or whatever.
I don't know. But this video, this whole video about him was done by somebody from a troll account, and the troll account was called The Watchers of the Net. Well, they tried to do a 2.0 when they tried to label me as that, and I found out it was Exodus from the fold.
Yeah.
And last night, and
I think I could heard it.
Yeah, last night I got it on video. Rabbi and Penelope both literally admitted that was Rabbi, and I don't think they even did it because they were so cocky in the stuff that they were talking about that they let it slip. Rabbi let it slip, and Penelope agreed with him. Yep, it was Exodus's old account. Yeah. So they basically told on themselves, even after I had already enough evidence to prove that this was Exodus, they basically sealed the deal for me last night. And provided
messy. Oh my
they tell on themselves all the time, and they don't realize it. And then when they realize they get caught, as soon as they realize they get caught, they make a video going, "Oh yeah, you were trying to play me, but I played you," because they know they got caught, and they want to try and make it seem like they were one step ahead of the game when they really weren't. And then they end up telling themselves even more. It's like they're so dumb.
We know too.
They're so stupid. They don't even realize what they're doing. I mean,
so weird.
They're easy to catch. They really are. If you just start paying attention to little things, they're very easy to catch.
Oh, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna drop down. My phone's about to die.
No, thank you for joining.
No problem. Love y'all.
Love you too. Yeah, I did kind of feel like he came after me briefly. I didn't even know who he was, and he started making videos about me. I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. Rabbi.
Oh, Rabbi did?
Mm-hmm.
Why has he always got the black and white filter on? It seems like all the blackfishers do that.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It has the black and white all the time.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so he's got heritage, according to him, he's got heritage from Middle East, right? But why would you put out somebody else's DNA results and claim some public DNA results as your own if that's the case? Why are you that much of a liar? Because he got caught doing that, number one.
Wow.
Number two, if you were raised as a white boy in Virginia and you didn't experience that, why are you acting like you're talking about quote unquote my people and all this stuff like you had this personal experience when you just found this out from getting a DNA result, right? Okay, you want to reconnect, that's one thing. If you want to reconnect with your roots, that's one thing. But to act like you've had experiences that other people really have had and really deal with when you're going out of your way to make yourself appear as something that you're not. You know what I mean? Like what Denise is doing. To me, while she's out here calling everybody else a WS, I don't understand why she and her friends are not looking in the mirror or looking at her and saying, wait a minute, you're literally putting on costumes and blackfacing on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny. Rabbi refers to himself as Arabic. That's literally a language. Why would he? He's if he's Arab, he's just Arab, not Arabic. Why
does he say Arabic or does he say Middle Eastern?
I don't know. I'm assuming that this person he refers to himself as a language.
Probably.
Like, people don't understand the difference between being Arab and the language of Arabic. Like, I don't know. It's just funny to me.
There's another one, a guy named Kevin. I don't know if you guys know him. He got caught and got, I guess, like chased off the app, and like he disappeared for a few months and then came back. And when he came back, suddenly he's wearing things around his head like he's Middle Eastern too. And he like tries to say that he grew up that way. And you look at all his childhood photos and they all have like the Catholic cross around their neck. Like, wait a minute, something's not adding up.
Oh man, people are weird. I don't know.
This person's my Arabian ass. I'm never. You know what's funny? My dad's literally from the Middle East. I've never referred myself as Arabian. Like, that is such like a. I don't even know where people come with that term. Like, you're either just like Arab, Middle Eastern, or you're Persian or whatever. Which, being Persian is just you're on. People don't really know that.
Horses like that, Arabian horses.
What's up?
Aren't horses described like that, Arabian horses?
I actually don't know. I've never.
I don't either.
Yeah, the horses. Yeah, the horses are Arabian horses.
Maybe that's where he got it from. Maybe he thinks he's a horse.
Or
Yeah.
Aladdin, Arabian Nights, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay.
Because this is the other thing that drives me crazy. Is anybody in here part native or indigenous? No? Okay. I would love to ask somebody who is, but there is a creator that created a page in a I don't know if you want to call it a movement, like a bowel movement or whatever. All these pages called Check Ho Nation. I'm like, isn't that disrespectful to Native and Indigenous people?
Oh, I know who that name is.
Yeah, but isn't that? I mean, seriously, I'm curious. I really would love to talk to somebody who's Native or Indigenous that's not affiliated with them, because to me that seems very disingenuous and offensive towards the Native community, especially considering that this person, from what we've all known, it was not raised that way, and I don't think is that way.
Yeah, correct. I think so too. I agree.
I think they're just white, again, costuming.
Yes.
And they get really offended when people talk about that. Like,
They do.
for people that say that they don't care and they don't, like, nothing bothers them, they get really offended to the point where they have to record every live, they mass report every live. They slander people who bring out the truth about them. I mean, shoot, she was even, I remember when I was friends with her, she was like telling me she needed a team. She needed people to record for her. She used to beg me like, hey, I need you to go into this live with Mia and Kicking It because they're having my sister on and I need somebody to record that live for me. Everything was always about her. I'm working 2 jobs and like, I need this, I need that. Like she uses people and orders people around like they're puppets for her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop down, by the way, because it's getting late and everything. But thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you for coming and joining us.
And your lives, you can come up whenever you want me to.
I appreciate you joining, especially just like that subject that we had earlier, because I hate speaking for other communities. Like, I would rather have somebody from the community speaking for them.
I appreciate that, because not a lot of people do that. They just want to talk and talk and talk, and it's like, give someone else a voice a little bit, you know?
It bothers me how much I see trans issues and the subject of cisgender coming up, and people are talking about it and saying what is and isn't appropriate for the LGBTQ plus communities without, like, especially when they're talking about trans issues and they don't even have a trans person in their box. I'm like, don't you think that's kind of important? Like, I even feel weird sometimes as the G alphabet, like speaking for the D alphabet. You know what I mean? Like, I would prefer to have somebody from the trans community speak for trans issues. But if there's nobody available and I see people talking about it, I'm like, okay, well, let me try to at least be a positive voice or bring awareness or something if I can.
Exactly.
I'm glad because you guys made me feel so comfortable asking questions.
As you should be able to feel that way.
I felt my questions were valid, and you guys were very respectful, and I appreciate you guys.
And especially like with everyone here, like we all know each other in that way. So it's like, it's not, we're not like the other side where they just attack.
That's the thing. We need people to be able to have more healthy, open conversations without the attacking, and make people feel safe and comfortable to have healthy discussions instead of trying to act like people are superior, better than, or less than, or anything like that. And I just appreciate all of you guys too, because I'm really glad I got to know all of you.
And we didn't even have an argument doing
Exactly.
it.
Well, I'm not gonna have an argument with you guys. What? I'm not an argumentative person, but if I need to argue, I will.
Right? I think everybody's like that. Like we all have it inside of us.
Exactly.
So
I'm gonna drop down real quick and stuff.
Hey, thank you again. I appreciate you, Squidward.
Yes, appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Night, Squidward.
Night.
Night. Hey everyone, sorry I haven't been. Oh, hey, singing. I haven't been paying much attention to the comments. I'm really bad at that sometimes. I'm sorry. And if anybody wants to join, they're welcome to. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay on here. Nick Spider. I don't know who that is, but welcome. Melissa, have you had any experiences with them, with that group?
Yeah, so I was more of like I would join in on like a lot of lives, like Police's live and whatnot. I would talk here and there, but I was more like just in the background being quiet, and like I would stand up if someone was being disrespectful or whatnot. But there was a few times where they would jump into the lives and then do their little attacks here and there, which didn't really bother me because I don't take that stuff personally, but I do know, like, have witnessed it for over a year, maybe 2 years now since I've been on the app, that they are literally toxic people, like, and it definitely is a cult 100%, because that's it. They want to always play the victim, but at the end of the day, the way that how they talk and hold their conversations in their lives, they're always talking about other people and always like want to do the mass reporting and talking about getting other people off the app and whatnot. And they're the ones that always like bad mouthing others, when at the end of the day, everyone else is, for the most part, is minding their business, but it feels like they always want to argue, always want to fight, always want to dox people, always think everybody is in the wrong except for themselves. And it's really such a toxic group of people. And it's crazy how like this app was once, a kid app, and now all of a sudden it's got tons of adults on it. And if you just like browse around different, types of lives and stuff, there's so much drama. It's like insane how much drama amongst all the adults that there is on this app.
It really is. It really is. But I just hit your mute button just temporarily. You could unmute it anytime. I just did it because there was like some echo or feedback coming back. But I just wanted you to be aware in case you started talking again, that you knew anyway.
No worries.
But yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, it's been going on. They've been doing this for a long time, and I actually got off the app like around mid-October 2021 for several months to take care of my own mental health, because it really wore me down. That first court case really wore me down. I won't lie. Like, they celebrated and they continued to harass me every day after that. There was a new troll page about me with my face, my name. Like, they enjoyed doxing me on a pretty regular basis. Some of the people that were doing it 2+ years ago, or almost 2 years ago, it's weird because some of them I'm friends with because they've seen the truth, and they're like, they don't side with the person that lied to them and was using them to come after me, and they've apologized. Other people there's a couple people that have apologized, would never take public accountability and actually flipped back over to the other side to come after me again. So like their apologies were fake. One of them is an animal that spits at people, a llama. And Kappa defended her and made a video for her about me. So, and I don't know Kappa. I never had any experience with Kappa. For her to do that and follow blindly was really shitty because she never even tried to speak with me. But, you know, in my opinion, they are part of that side. Maybe not all of them, but from what I've seen, if you're riding with a group, you've got to, in my opinion, this is why I've never been a part of any group like that. Even though I was friends with some people that were, and I didn't realize what was happening, the grooming, but I never belonged to any family or group or named group or anything like that, because I kind of feel like then you're putting yourself in something where that group is a reflection of you and you're a reflection of that group. Like there's a shared responsibility. It's if people think that people in the LGBTQIA plus community should call out other members or the Black community should call out other members, like to me, that's unrealistic because those are big communities. We don't all know each other. We can't be responsible for everything. But if you're part of a little small family on here and a little small organized group that you're choosing to be a part of, you know, being part of the Black community or the gay community is not a choice. Like you just automatically are, right? You're born that way, period. But when you're choosing to be part of a group and a family online, that's a different story. You have the power to leave that group, to not support that group, to call out other behavior within that group. And just, you have a choice to decide if you want to stay supporting that group or not. I remember being on that side and the narratives that were set to the point where they're so convincing that, and that's the thing I hope people realize is like, these are con artists. And what are con artists good at? They're good at putting on charm. They're good at convincing people of things that aren't true. They're good at conning people out of money. They're good at, you know, basically manipulating. They're master manipulators, and they're often very charming. They may not be the best looking all the time, or they may be. And, you know, especially the good looking ones you got to watch out for. And let's face it, the leader over there, if you don't know any better and you don't know their personality and you're just an observer from the outside, you're like, oh, wow, this person's a good person. They're helping the homeless. They're doing this. And they're a good looking person. So you're going to be naturally attracted to them, right? And then they put on the charm. They're sipping champagne in front of you or something like that. And they're making it seem like they're, you know, a king or a queen. And they're putting on these acts like they're superior. There's a charisma there that we're attracted to naturally. But we've got to be careful with that, because those are the dangerous people. They're convincing us to believe that they are the only good ones and everybody else is their enemy. And sometimes they're convincing you that good people are bad and that bad people are good. It's the internet. We've got to do research and start really looking at facts, especially when we're talking about somebody that's supposed to be a representative for the community, like the pansexual zesty person that claims he's the representative for the community I'm a part of. I'm not going to ever accept that. And when people say that and his friends are the community, I'm like, no, that's a small group of it. And please don't affect the entire rest of the community because of that group. Please, like, that's not us.
You know, he exploits that community because, like, he'll say the most egregious things to a straight man. And then when the straight man claps back, he wants to cry, oh my God, you're being transphobic. Oh my God, everybody, y'all need to go after him because he's a transphobic. Like, but you can't say the things you say to straight men and don't think they're not going to. So they're not just mad. They're not mad at the gay community. They're mad at you as a gay man who just disrespected them.
He's not even gay. He's pansexual. Which means he's attracted to pretty much anybody or anything, like any person, as long as I hope he's only attracted to humans.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell a straight man to suck something, and then if he says something back to you, then you want to holler. oh, you transphobic.
Here's my thought. The person that we're talking about, I don't think he's transphobic.
No. He says that like if like
No, I
say
know
I'm
what
a
you mean.
pretend I'm a man and I say
Are you talking about SOBE? Are you talking about Sobe? Like because they attacked
no,
him. I know they attacked him.
no, like if say me, I'm a man right now, and me and that person's arguing, and he says, "Oh, I hope you get
I know what you're gonna say.
you need to ask my
Right?
suck my you know what suck my
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what. And you know I'm
Eggplant.
straight, so if I'm a straight man, I clap back and call him a name." And then he'll run to the community saying, "Oh my God, y'all need to attack him because he's going after our community."
I personally like this is just my personal beliefs. It's not it's not even a matter of offense to me. It's more of a matter of like just respect to the communities. I don't think like I was saying earlier, somebody could call me whatever they want. I'm never going to return with a slur unless it's equal playing ground. Like I'm in the gay community.